And I'm with Lee Trevino. You're allowed to be funny, but you can't be rude. I'm already rude. All right. Let me ask you this. You were a quote machine for like 100 years. Do you have a favorite one that you threw out there? Do you remember them?
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite is there's two things that don't last, and that's a dog chasing cars and a pro button for cars. That's always been my favorite.
Yeah. You got a second favorite? Is there a Miss Runner-Up?
Yeah, the luckier, the more I practice, the luckier I get.
Yeah. You're funnier than that, though. Come on, there's
I don't. You should have asked. I should have planned this. I'm not a comedian. See, a comedian you don't have to ask him. Now I can be funny if you let me think about it a little bit. But that's about it.
What comedian would you pay to go see?
Well, I don't know if the language that they use now, I can be funny using that language.
Yeah, Richard Pryor language?
Yeah, I love Richard Pryor in the beginning because he couldn't go public, and you bought the tapes and you put them in the car, and he made stuff up and it was funny. You have to understanding Spanish a little bit like I do. I'm not fluent in it. And you can take a joke, whether it's a clean joke or a dirty joke, and tell it in English and it's not funny. And do it in Spanish, the way they use the hands and all this stuff, and it can be funny, But I don't know of any comedian that I knew. My favorite was Alan King, and he's since passed away. But I loved Alan King because he could talk about his brother, the doctor, and I mean, it could go on for an hour, and it was funny as hell.
Why did you chatter when you played? Was it to release energy, or were you just...
No, I came up the way that I came up. It's like what I do here with people. I came up, and I came up in a way to where my job was to sell and to please people and to get them into the game. And I told them that I could sell ice cream in a blizzard, and I could sell a 10.5 shoe to a guy that wore a 12. And that's the way that I've always been. I love people. Now, I'm different when I leave here.
Yeah?
Never say a word. Never say a word. Yeah.
We walk out of here together, you're not going to talk to me?
No. Once I leave you and I get by myself.
Right.
And I go, I don't talk to anybody.
You're trying to tell me you're an introvert?
You're not going to believe this, but I am.
Really?
Once I leave the golf course or I leave the public, I am I'm really an introvert. I mean, I spend sometimes, this is the God's truth. I sometimes, and my wife will vouch for this, stay in my house at home 3 and 4 days at a time. Never leave.
Really?
Uh-huh.
30 years ago, Sports Illustrated did a piece on you, and the headline was something like, Lee Trevino and motel room, whatever.
Always done it.
You were always a room service guy.
I was the king of the room service, they call me.
Really?
I could go to any hotel and tell you the menu.
Really?
Didn't even have to look at it.
Let's play word association. 3 majors this year at places where you won majors.
Right.
Word association, tell me what you remember from Marion.
Oh, Marion beating Jack in the playoff.
Yeah.
We tied at 280. The Snake, we tied at 280. Would have never won that tournament except after 4 holes in the playoff, it come a rainstorm. And it softened up the greens, and it gave me a tremendous amount of confidence because my low trajectory shot could...
Open Championship, Muirfield.
Well, the Open Championship at Muirfield, I went in there playing extremely well.
And he was going for the Grand Slam.
And he was going for the Grand Slam, and I liked that particular golf course. I just fell in love with it. Never played it before, but I just absolutely played for fun. And you have to understand, too, we were playing the small ball in those days, and I didn't think, confidence-wise, I could reach all the par 5s, even though it took me a more club to reach them. But at least I could reach them. I didn't have to hit wedges in. And I thought that and there were some very tight holes on that golf course. And I made the move at Muirfield on Friday, which the tournament ended on Saturday. And the move that I made, Jacqueline was completely gone. I mean, we couldn't catch him. And I birdied 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 on the third day. Chipped in on 16, flew it in the hole out of the bunker, and chipped in on 18 that day. Yeah.
Oak Hill, your breakthrough at the 1968 U.S. Open.
Oak Hill was one of my. I finished 5th at Boulder Strong. I fell in love with
The year
Oak Hill
before.
the year before. I fell in love with Oak Hill. I stayed with Paul Kircher and his family there, and I played all 3 rounds with Doug Sanders, and I played extremely well. And I remember Doug Sanders says, "I know who's going to win this Open."
Yeah.
And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Man, the way you're driving the ball," he said, "that's what opens. That's where opens are won."
Did you go there thinking you had a chance?
Yeah, I'd taken a week off.
Paul Kircher's daughter and you found a 4-leaf clover in the backyard.
Yeah, she was 2
Did that
years
have
old.
anything to do with it?
I
You
don't
put it
know.
in your pocket, right?
I carried it in my pocket all
Yeah.
4 days.